left-wing Kingz. Listen, think, act, repeat.
Conservative commentator Candace Sambo Owens was fired from the Daily Wire. She made it official with a tweet on X declaring, "The rumors are true. I'm finally free." I don't know when she was a slave, but I guess she's free now. She ain't Prince. So, Steve, what does the loss of Candace Owens mean to Team Conservative?
It don't mean shit. That's what it don't mean. Let me tell you something. Okay? Candace Owens talked a whole bunch of shit, talked about black people all the time, didn't have nothing good to say about black people.
Nope.
And she was not really engaging with anybody black to where she could even bring anybody black in. She wasn't Michael Steele. Michael Steele, when he was a Republican, he would say stuff and I would listen to Michael Steele and I'd be like, okay, I disagree with this brother, but I respect what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Respect his views. Every time I hear Candace Owens, I'd be like, fuck Candace Owens. She don't know what the hell she's talking about. Every single time, man. No.
Yeah, nah.
It ain't gonna affect nothing because the thing about it is you can get a Candace Owens or a Stacey Dash or somebody who's always gonna badmouth black people without ever uplifting black people. You can always get somebody to do that.
Remember those two sisters and one of them passed away?
Yes.
And they was just always had something bad to say to. Anyway, you're right. They can always find a replacement.
Yeah, I don't get it. You know, shout out to Michael Steele. Michael Steele was a Republican chairman of the Republican National Convention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even though he's Republican, he's still Republican. You know, he's still a brother. You know what I'm saying? He's still, you know,
and she's still a sister.
Yeah.
I mean, she a Sambo, but she's still a sister.
I'm just saying. But I mean, he's still for the people, though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's still for the people.
Right.
Candace, man, you know, we always got like. As black people, we always got somebody who's trying to please white people. And I always tell them, like, white people good. You ain't got to please them. Like, they don't need your comment. You don't need to chip in. They already got they negative shit to say. They don't need your ass Ruckus saying it. Like,
yes.
You know, and that's who Candace was. It's like even with the George Floyd, that you don't have to say shit on that.
Right.
Just sit back.
Exactly. That was.
But you want to come in and chip in because you want to please white people. Oh man, you know, he was a criminal and this and that. Okay.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have still been choked to death.
Exactly.
Yes.
On TV.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know.
Calling Juneteenth ghetto.
And then in Breonna Taylor, you want to back up the white cops. Well, you know, they shouldn't be kicking in people's doors and shooting and asking questions later.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But you want to jump on that side and back them up because you want to please white people.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Candace Owens. Is she was that person, Stacey Dash. I'm just gonna go left. You know what I'm saying? When I should probably be going right because it's just fucked up in the first place.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna go left because you know, I get, you know, likes or whatever the hell she was getting out of it. I don't know.
Well, with everything you're saying, it sounds like a big loss for Team Conservative to me because she had a following. A big following, and she was on the platform that she got a lot of exposure. So is it going to your point, I agree with you, Steve, like they could find another black person that's down to spit shit about us and get a paycheck for it. I just seen one
yesterday.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this might have an impact on them based on what she decides to do. What are your thoughts?
It's going to affect them, but they got a replacement already. Because I don't know if you've seen the Trump and the girl in the chicken coop or chicken restaurant or whatever.
Yeah, he gave a hug and everything.
Yeah, he gave a hug and everything.
Chick-fil-A.
Talking about how much he back him and he better than Biden for black people. He did all this.
Yeah, they got one.
Like the girl was just staged and put there. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know that shit. Like because black people just ain't sitting around in chicken restaurants waiting for Trump to walk in. You know what I'm saying? And we talking about Trump and by, hey, Mr. Trump, you know what I'm saying? So
come on, man.
They got to replace him. But the thing is like, you know, there is a contingent of black people, I guess, that feel that way, and she was a voice for them. And I think there's a comfort to some white people to be able to say, hey, look, she gets it over there. You know, there's no problem. It kind of fits into the racist colorblind agenda. Like, you know, and we're all one color, and like she's in agreement with us. I don't really know, understand what it is, but yeah, it's a big blow to them because they don't have that one person to kind of blow up and kind of give them an alternative to the black narrative when it comes to black things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she was okay with being that person.
Let me push back on that, though. You look at Candace Owens' baby shower. You look at Candace Owens' birthday parties. Those white folks.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Candace Owens' comment section. It's mostly white folks.
Yeah.
So my question becomes this: like, does that hurt the Republicans with black people? No, it don't hurt the Republicans with black people. Black people don't like Candace Owens. Even other conservatives don't like Candace Owens, man. I mean, look again, Michael Steele. A black person can look at what Michael Steele says and say, yes, I agree. But when you have nothing good to say about black people, nothing, I disagree with Thomas Sowell, okay? I disagree with almost everything he says, okay? But sometimes he says something decent about black people.
Yeah.
He throw black people a bone every once in a while.
Yeah.
Look, Candace Owens is like freaking Auntie Ruckus, man. Hell no. Hell no. I can't stand that woman.
Hey, so we talking about how much we don't like her, which I agree with both of you 155%. But what were the events that led to her getting fired by the Daily Wire? Let's talk about that a little bit.
She backed some anti-Semitic comments, and they found out and you know that always get black people thrown out of there. You cool till you say something anti-Semitic or close to anti-Semitic, they get rid of your ass. Then I don't care what you're saying. You can say all kinds of shit about black people, but you say one thing anti-Semitic or even hint that you said something anti-Semitic, your ass is out of there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened to her. That's why she got fired, because and they weren't even clear on what she actually said or anything. I was looking that up. I mean, did y'all see anything? I couldn't find anything. So
yeah,
I found anti-Semitic theories.
Yeah.
that she supported, but nothing specific about no quotes.
Christ
Right.
is king.
that could be a lot.
That could be
That's very
That's a
vague.
conspiracy in its goddamn self.
That's very vague.
And then I also saw that she was beefing with Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro. I saw that too.
The owner of Daily Wire, that basically, like, you know, talking crap about him supporting Israel and shit like that. So once again, I think that if there's any quotes that they took away as being anti-Semitic, it would be the things that the conversation she had with him, because it was all public.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, if you say something like you agree with what Hamas or whatever, or you back Palestine, that could be taken as anti-Semitic today, or anti-Semitic theories or whatever. I mean, it's just, that's a very vague reason, but I don't care. I don't care. They got rid of her. Candace Owens was vague.
exactly.
But the irony of that is this: just like you were saying, you can have somebody who is not anti-Israel but supports Palestinian homeland, supports Palestinian rights. I mean, Bernie supports all of that.
Yeah,
You know, and he's Jewish.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is, again, Candace, she putting her foot in the door, thinking she can say the stuff she said about black people about other people.
Yeah,
that don't work.
Yeah. So with that being the case, man, she done said a lot of stuff about black folks, man. But now all of a sudden she want to be on the Breakfast Club and the Joe Budden podcast, and she's showing ass on black media. So,
and guess what? We'll have you here too if you want to come. We'll steal some of them.
Yeah, I will too. You know, so why?
You have her
why
here.
is she going?
Look, invite me back, nigga.
Yeah, look, why is she going on black media shows? Oh, she used to hate us. Now she want to be on our shows. Why is she doing that?
Niggas just like OJ High, Johnny Cochran, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, black people who make it and they find success with white people, Tiger Woods, and they find success when they get in trouble, they come back home. That's just the recipe. They gonna come back home,
and we just gonna embrace them with open arms too.
And that's the that's the Brooklyn, that's the black people way, man. That's what we do, man. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is like, I remember I was looking at the Breakfast Club thing, and it was just hitting her with like things black people know. You know what I'm saying?
Softballs. They throwing softballs at her ass.
Yeah. And they hit her with they hit her, is God is good? And she didn't know how to reply to that. Yeah, she didn't know how to reply to that. They called out there, and she was lost. She was like, it was funny, baby. You got to look at that clip. But they were just hitting her with things that black people do just to see where she was at. So they having fun with it. But Yeah, man, you know, in the day in the store with all these black people, they know one thing: when they black, we gonna bring them back home. You know what I'm saying? You know, you lost your ways. We're gonna bring them back home. So of course she's gonna be doing black shows.
Is there any like strategic thing behind this?
It was a strategy for her to go right, for her to go to the right. Because if you look at, she was already trying to create a political platform that was to the left. It was not successful because it was too saturated. And she moved all the way to the right, found people who supported her, and then just went further right. So, yeah, it was strategic that she did what she did in the first place. So, yeah, it's a strategy for her to go back to black people. But I disagree with this brother. They could keep Candace. They could keep her.
Hey,
I'm not personally agreeing with it. I'm telling you what happens, though.
Look, she can't come back. She can't come back to the cookout, bro.
Here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing, bro. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to put it out there, man. There's people like us who have awareness of all the things going on in politics in the world, and we follow this shit, and we know what Candace Owens has done.
Yeah.
We ain't going to take her back. But unfortunately, there are some black people who don't want to get in the game. They don't want to get in the politics game. They don't want to get into the news. They tired of hearing the negative shit. And they'll take her back. Yeah. They'll take her back with open arms because she's a sister. She's a queen. You know what I'm saying? And we embrace our people. If a black person apologizes for shit and come back to you, we going to bring them back. Now, unfortunately, that's how we get fucked over, though. Yeah. And that's what we know as a group. And that's how we were like, keep your distance over there. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about you, Candace. I might. But at the end of the day, I just can't trust you, right? I might be civil to you and I can talk to you, but I can't trust you. And I think that might be more where he's leaning toward. He ain't trying to like embrace it and say that you're now part of the left and all, or the independents or whatever. Your potato salad. We ain't eating that shit. But at the end of the day, most black people will take her back with open arms because she is a queen. And that's just what it is. We were born and bred to allow our overseers to love our overseers. House Negro, motherfuckers, all kind of slaves and having babies with the master. We were told to turn the other cheek. That's what we were taught. So when these motherfuckers do bad shit to us, well, you know, you can't whip me, but I can whip you. You know what I'm saying? Just take it. Okay, master. I mean, and I'm going way far back in time, back to 1860 something with this.
1864 like that.
You know? Yeah. But at the end of the day, we inherently, because of how we came up and our descendants, we are forgiving people. And that's just who we are. Yeah,
check it out, man. You know, this week we lost O.J. Simpson, right? The juice, right? And he means different things for different people. But it's funny, I was having a talk to one of my counterparts at work, and I told him, I said, you know, first off and foremost, OJ wasn't ours anyway. When he went through all this shit, he was the juice or whatever, but OJ didn't fuck with black people when he got in trouble. He messed with white people. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, and y'all don't. I said, what y'all gotta understand is we was probably cheering with Johnny Cochran. We didn't give a damn about OJ. Because OJ didn't mess with black people like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's a similarity to what you're saying. But then as OJ kind of went through and kind of talked, you know, we didn't completely cut him off. But it came to the point where we were defending OJ because I was like, what OJ did, white people do all the time. Hell, Trump's doing that now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's going through getting away with cases and doing all kinds of shit. Y'all do that shit all the time. OJ's the only person we can reference that did that shit.
Nah, one innocent though.
Yeah,
he do that shit.
No, I'm just saying. But one person,
as a son of somebody.
No. I'm just saying. It's just one person. It's just one person that went through the court system and won a goddamn case. You know, do it or not do it or whatever the case may be. It's one person. White people do that shit all the time. Trump's doing that shit right now, running for fucking president and doing this shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I said, and you gotta understand it. He was never ours in the first place. He was y'all's. He was I'm not black. I'm OJ type shit.
But to your point, he became ours.
Yeah.
After that shit happened. Yeah. After he went through something that we go through. Yeah. He was found innocent. I almost say got away with it. He was found innocent. You know what I'm saying? And then we embraced him. Yeah. But that also got his ass into trouble because after that, he got some black friends. Yeah. And he went to a hotel in Vegas and he didn't know black people carry guns.
Yeah, he was on some stupid shit.
That nigga didn't know black folks. You got guns?
Either way it goes. But
it's
what
black folks do.
Yeah, but it's even like with the Candace thing. Like, I I don't trust Candace Owens when I throw them, and I sure don't get down with her like that. But just to be realistic on how black people are, in the day in the story, like, yeah, we still gonna have her come on our shows and support her or whatever the case may be, because that's just what black people do.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Even though she said all kinds of horrific shit and went against everything that black people try to do in this country. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly. Candace Owens, man, let me ask you this. If she switches, because we talked about she's got a strategic move. She started off strategically going to the right.
Get this one.
It was a niche for her. Like, she was the only black person at that time speaking all of that rhetoric. Then she want to switch back to the left now, right? She on these black shows. So if she switches to a liberal stance,
she can't do it.
Would anyone trust her?
She would not have a platform. She would not have a platform because it would definitely come off as fake. It would come off as dishonest. It would come off as a snake oil salesman type of thing. Because you said all of this stuff, and again, I'm good with somebody being conservative and me disagreeing with you. I'm not good. When you start dissing people for celebrating Juneteenth, for celebrating when black people were free, Juneteenth is our 4th of July. Yeah. That's when we became free as a people, okay? At least in Texas, okay? And even if you're not from Texas, if you're celebrating Juneteenth, you are celebrating freedom. Freedom is supposed to be an American thing. She trashed that.
Yeah,
you can't come back to the black community. You can't come back to the moderate or liberal community. You trashing stuff like that. There's no way that she could come back and say anything and seem genuine or honest or any of that.
So let me ask you this. I see your point 110%, and I agree, but I'm going to challenge it with Trump. Okay? How many times has this man said shit and then go back and say something totally the opposite of that? He says shit like grab him by the pussy. They make excuses for him. He says, "Oh, I'm pro-life and I'm pro-choice." He always says some crazy ass shit and goes back on it. You know, those were great people over there, but you know, people still embrace him. Like, so why can't Candace Owens get that same treatment? Okay,
you said Trump, right? Let me ask you this: why do you think Trump didn't run as a Democrat? Up until 2008, most of the things that you said when you heard him on an interview, his views were mostly Democratic, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, Democrats don't play that. They don't. You look at Al Franklin, you know, the comedian, okay, that turned into a senator. He got kicked out for doing some sexist stuff, and he was joking. And he had to resign from the Senate. I would definitely say, look, there's a lot of stuff you can get away with when you're a Republican that you are not able to get away with saying when you're a Democrat.
I will say that I don't know if it's that you get away with it or if it's that they don't care about what you say and about what you said before. I think that we as Democrats and even independents want accountability from people for doing things. Al Franken didn't have to resign, but he did it because his own moral compass told him, I said something I shouldn't have said, so I'm leaving. And Democrats asked for him to do that because we don't believe in what he said. But then you look on the other side of the ledger. I can't remember the individual's name, but he was in college and he went to a party. He did blackface, and they found the pictures of him. There was another one that dressed up like Michael Jackson, blackface, and another one that did a different blackface with coon lips or whatever. He's still in office right now. He didn't say I'm gonna. I was a kid. That's what we did back then in 1952.
Yeah.
No apology, nothing. They still. Yeah. I think they don't care. They're like, you know what? I don't care as long as we got that seat.
Yeah.
If we got somebody in that seat, do whatever the fuck you want to do and say. If we got somebody in the president's seat, if we Trump, do and say whatever you want. I think that's the difference in why, you know, Trump does what he does. But Candace Owens, I think that they embraced her like on the Joe Budden show, and like you said on Breakfast Club, they throwing softballs, asking silly little questions to see if she understands black statements and shit. They wasn't hitting her with no shit like, I would hit her like, why you say that shit about Juneteenth?
Yeah, and George Floyd and all that shit.
That's the shit that people need to be asking her, but they not.
But she ain't gonna
Not
go on
even the
Roland
left.
Martin. She ain't gonna go on somewhere where they're gonna ask her a real question.
Yeah.
I respect her when she goes and she debates somebody like Roland Martin. When she
go on Laura Coates' show or something
exactly.
like that. Yeah.
You can't, when you're going somewhere and it's just puff. I mean, a fluff, that's different. They ain't gonna ask you no real questions.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
That's not their platform.
But once again, I think that's a little bit different from, and I get why we're going down this path, but at the end of the day, I mean, if she goes to the liberal side, once again, if she says the right things, the things people want to hear, that's the same thing that got her so popular as a conservative. If she says the things that the left want to hear and says, I changed my mind, I don't know. I think that they'll still embrace her. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I don't know about that.
I'll be honest with you. I think there is especially the younger generation. I think there's a generation that really don't understand politics. That she can talk similar to what she's saying. Maybe she's a little more conservative, moderate. She moves a little bit more toward the middle. But there's actually like a black generation of people that don't understand fucking politics. That really fit into that colorblind, we're all one color and slavery was old and civil rights is old and everything's equal now. There's actually people that follow them. Like I said, they're a little younger.
Yeah.
They're like, millennials and younger, you know what I'm saying? And I think there's a voice for that. And I think she do have some people that follow and do that and believe that. They think that, hey, you know what, that's in the past and we need to move forward. We need to stop talking about racism and civil rights and stuff like that. That's the best I think she can do to save face and stay where she's at and maybe win a couple of cool points. But if she tries to go all the way left, I'm like with Steve. Nobody's going to believe that. You know what I'm saying? And then now she's dealing with people that are going to be asking those hard questions like hell, she go talk to Veshy on MSNBC. They're going to eat her alive. You know what I'm saying? They're going to pull out all the crazy shit she said about George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and all that stuff when she directly went against what black people were talking about and purposely went out and, tried to muddy the waters when it came to George Floyd when that had nothing to do with that man dying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I want to hear her talk to Maya Rockamore, somebody like that. Maya Rockamore Cummings, somebody like that.
Yeah.
She's not going to do that.
She ain't gonna get no. She's gonna catch that heat. But she stays in the middle. Maybe go on CNN. She might get a Laura Coates or somebody who ain't gonna really beat her up and let her talk a little conservative, and kind of stay in her lane, and she'll be all right there. But
so you said she has a message that could resonate with some people, and regardless of whether she goes right or left, there are people that are going to want to hear her. So will she be able to find a new platform to get on, to get her message out there? And if so, where do you think she might end up?
Somebody likes her. You know what I'm saying? She's popular. I mean, I think she can go talk on Newsmax right now, or she can go to, America One or one of these real far right places. I think they'll pick her up and she could start spilling some of the bullshit she was spilling before. You know what I'm saying? And we won't even hear it because we don't look at none of that craziness. But she got people out there, she can show up to the Trump rally. You know what I'm saying? And, I'm surprised he ain't platformed her out there yet. You know what I'm saying? But, she could do that. So, I mean, she's still somewhat got like some people that'll listen to her. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, I hate to say it, a lot of people that support her, they don't care about being anti-Semitic. Hell, they anti-Semitic. You know
what he said, yeah.
Yeah. I just wonder, I don't know if I agree 100% about the anti-Semitic thing. I think that you're right. There's an audience out there who don't give a fuck about anti-Semitic tropes and things like that. But at the same time, I think that most news networks are kind of standoffish when they have somebody out there that they're going to have on their network that might talk that. I can see her being on once again maybe a streaming platform or an online platform or something like that where she they probably care less, but she got kicked off the Daily Wire for that, so I don't know.
But what she said was subtle. It was subtle. It wasn't outright it wasn't like she just didn't say something crazy. And that's the difference.
I don't know what she said.
Yeah. If she had said something that was overtly anti-Semitic,
it would have been all over the place.
yes. But I feel like what she said, it was subtle. If she had talked about Jewish people like she talked about black people,
Oh yeah.
then no, she wouldn't be able to
So
go
if they're
anywhere.
taking her comment that she made to
Gotta make sure
Ben
of that.
Shapiro about, supporting Israel, if that's what they're saying is anti-Semitic, because right now you could just say Jew and you anti-Semitic. So I mean, if you're right, if that's the case, if that's what that's the statement that they're using to justify her firing.
I mean, yeah, she could have said something to the point where she's not liking Netanyahu's policies and the Jews are doing this and that, and she could just disagree on their policy there. And Ben Shapiro, which he ain't no saint, could have took that as anti-Semitic and just or whatever. Who knows what she said? You know what I'm saying?
But again, part of her problem is if she was speaking about specific policies, just specific policies. Okay, well, I disagree with this specific policy. I disagree with. It's about being articulate about your position. To me, how she says what she says is just so rough.
She ain't got no fear saying bad shit about black people, and she says it, and she says it without knowing that she had a whole bunch of people that would support her, people that didn't like her. She said a whole bunch of stuff, and she said a lot of hurtful things to the black community.
Yeah. So look, and it's sad because as a black person, I think when I look at things with her, I'm still looking at it through that gaze. So it's difficult for me to even get past that enough to be able to say, oh, well, yeah, because she could go on Newsmax or something like that because they always saying something crazy about black people.
Yeah.
And although they'll say that they support Israel, when it comes to the Jewish community here in America, they're not supportive.
No.
When anti-Semitic stuff goes on here in America, they're not supporting our Jewish brothers and sisters.
No.
They're not doing it. Okay? And that's the problem. Yeah. That's the problem right there. And you can disagree. Like I said, you can disagree with a war. You can disagree with how a war is being handled and it not be thing about, okay, well, I disagree with this race. You can disagree with the number of people that are being killed. You can disagree with the things that are being bombed. You can disagree with these things, right? And not have anything against those people at all.
No.
But what we see here in America is we see straight up anti-Semitism against Jewish people. And you could say it's because of this or that or the other. It's because they're Jewish. It's because they're not white.
Yeah.
Oh,
Charlottesville.
white.
Yeah, Charlottesville. And then they went and from Charlottesville they went and shot up a synagogue in Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So so the same things as black people that we struggle with when it comes to this racism, a lot of Jewish people suffer the same thing. So.
Yes. And it's just not right. It's not right. So somebody, like I said, what she said, you can disagree with it. I don't know. And again, I'm hesitant to say, okay, well, it wasn't anti-Semitic because I'm not Jewish. And I know sometimes people say with something that didn't sound anti-black to me. And I'll be like, hold up. As a black person, I disagree with you.
Yeah.
So I'm hesitant to say that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like that has a certain level of insensitivity. And I realize I'm not looking at it from that point of view.
Right. Because that's not our religion. So.
Yeah. But I feel like, yeah, she if she want to stay on the right, she has some platform. She still has some platform. She has a name, and she has people who still right. She Kanye get her a job, man.
Yeah. She'll be back to pissing us off here soon.
Yeah.